This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Icon Podcast. We just got past 200 episodes, so it's been so awesome to get to know these Icon agents, top 2% of the company. And today we'll get to know a little bit about Danielle. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jana. It's great to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you. And loaded question to start right off the bat, Danielle. Who are you? Where are you from? How'd you get into real estate?
Well, I'm an older woman, past my 50s now, and I'm originally from New York, so you will hear a little bit of a New York twang every once in a while. Born and raised there, and now I live in Phoenix, Arizona. Been here since 1994, so it's been quite some time. My blood has definitely thinned, so when I go back to New York, I do get very cold.
Yes, I can imagine.
Yeah, so my husband and I got started in real estate. I actually was a video editor prior to this. I retired from that when I had my son. But before I had my son, my husband and I were like, well, what are we going to do? What are you going to do when, you have a child? Because I wanted to stay home with my son. And we talked about it. And I'm like, well, we really like real estate, and we were investors at the time. And I'm like, well, I'll just do that. Well, one of my brother-in-laws got his license and we were obligated to use him, and he wasn't very good. So we decided that I needed to get my license sooner rather than later. So before I retired from my other job, I got my real estate license and then had my son and kind of just started doing real estate for myself. And then my friends were like, oh, you're awesome. You need to do stuff for us. So I started doing business with friends, and then family and family friends and friends of friends. And the business just kind of grew up from there and just expanded. And now I have a small team and just starting to grow that. And I've been in the business now almost 20 years.
That's awesome. Danielle, how were you introduced to EXP? You've been in it for a while, so obviously it wasn't your first brokerage. How did you cut those ties, make that move?
Well, my previous brokerage was not, unfortunately, allowing me to grow anymore, and I was pretty stagnant. So I was looking for other brokerages. They've been trying to recruit me, quite a few of the bigger names. So I interviewed with them, and coming from 100% brokerage, I did not want to get the splits going on, because I'm like, what are you giving me for the split? And it wasn't anything that I was finding value in. It was all, stuff that I already had. So I happened upon a magazine and I was looking through it and I saw EXP Realty. I'm like, what is that? And so I called the number and I wound up speaking with someone who put me in touch with Scott Lewis and Rob Flick. And they're pretty big at EXP. And we had a Zoom call. And after that Zoom call, when they really explained everything to me, I was sold. I was done. I'm like, yep, EXP is where I'm going to be until I retire.
Awesome. That's incredible. And Danielle, why do you say that? I mean, it's got some awesome things like collaboration, rev share, stock options, but what really makes you excited about EXP and ready to, stay there till retirement?
Well, where they got me was when I told them my production the prior 3 years, and they told me what my stock portfolio would have been had I been at EXP those previous 3 years. That was the deal. That was the thing that changed yourself. Yeah. I'm like, as realtors, when you're working and you're in the thick of it, you're working. You're not really looking at that end exit strategy. And I see more and more realtors that are really old. I actually had one want to be on my team, and she was so technology challenged. It didn't work out. But The problem is that we don't see what's the end? When do we stop? And the fact that this is building a nest egg, and I could achieve icon and get even more stock. The 80-20 split was a sticking position for me because I'm like, yeah, I don't want to give up my 20%. I really want to have 100%. Well, if you become an icon, which I knew I could, there is no 80-20 split. It's, it's 100% because I'm getting my split back in stock, which sometimes that split is being paid to me when the stock goes up.
Yeah,
so that's my big thing.
As a business person, it just makes sense. Business number wise, you put that on a list of pros and cons, you're going to find yourself with EXP right away. Danielle, before we dive into all things Icon Award, let's talk a little bit about you, right? How do you chase this work-life balance that everybody talks about? How do you recharge, draw boundaries between work and play?
Well, it's hard. Right now, I don't have a really awesome work-life balance. If you talk to my husband or my son, they'll say, she's working all the time. So I'm trying to grow my team so I can try and take a step back out of production. And I'm right in that right now. My first goal, I've only been with EXP 2.5 years. So my first goal was to hit icon. And then my second goal, first to cap, then icon, and then really get to know EXP well so that I can take a step back out of production and grow my team.
Sure.
And then this way I could coach and do more things and kind of have better hours and not have to run to showings and whatnot on the weekends. And so that's what I'm trying to do now. And I'm in the middle of that type of transition. And, finding key team players is the hugest thing. Someone I can trust with my clients and new clients. My business is 100% referral. So basically our team clients are my clients that I share or give. And now I'm working on other streams of bringing in clients from my team members. So getting that balance is really, really hard until I'm able to, leverage my team and get more. I mean, I have a transaction coordinator. I have a part-time assistant. So, and I had a client concierge too, but even with all that leverage, I'm still working tons. I mean, it's just a lot of hours. So I'm still finding that work-life balance. And the good thing is I've been seeing other icons and what they do, and I'm learning from them. And that's why EXP is so great for me, is because I'm able to learn from people who are where I want to be. And they're willing to share that step-by-step process.
Absolutely. That's a great explanation of your work-life balance. And, it seems like you're working all the time, but you're constantly trying to improve that and be able to recharge. And it's that work-life balance is going to be constantly changing, constantly adaptive. So it looks like you're conscious of that, which is great, Danielle. And let's dive into all things Icon Award out there in Arizona. What's production look like for you? How, is that? Where is that, I guess I should say, average home price for you, and how many houses do you have to sell to be able to hit your cap with EXP?
So my average price point's about $650. So I do a couple of $1 million homes. I do everything from those to condos. Our prices in Arizona have increased tremendously. Last year, I did just over 50 transactions. For me to cap my $16,000 cap, it usually takes me about a month and a half to cap, maybe 5 transactions or so. And then I usually icon about 6 months later. Okay. So my anniversary date is March 1st, and I wind up capping by April, May, and then I usually become an icon by October.
Awesome. That's a great turnaround for you, Danielle, and leaves plenty of space to stop worrying about production, pour a little more into your team or your mentees, or that cultural commitment you have with EXP, which, speaking of, you can be a teacher, you can be a coach, a mentor for EXP to fulfill your cultural commitment, but which do you choose and why?
So last year, my first year, I was a panelist. So I did the iConversations, I did some Google Meetups and some other panels. And then this year I decided to teach. So I have a class that I teach in the world about growing your sphere for consistent production. And I'm really enjoying that. That's really a fun class. It's jam-packed full of information on how to grow your sphere, whether you've been in the business, 1 month or 10 years, how to continue to grow your sphere and work it so you have a consistent referral business. Because I'm really blessed right now. Every month I get referrals from my database. And
Awesome.
I let people know how you do that. And you do that various ways to keep people engaged. I don't buy Zillow leads or those types of things. I love on my clients. I send them stuff. I have client events, and they in turn refer me to their friends and colleagues. And that's how you grow a business. You have to start with your sphere. That's the best thing to do. Whether you're a new agent, new into the business, or in a new town, you just have to work that sphere. And the CRMs are really important to help you organize and stay in touch.
Absolutely. And like you said, really work that sphere, lean into those people that are, asking you questions and bringing business to you, and those mentors. It's so important. And Danielle, last question concerning your, I guess not concerning, I'm not concerned, but in regards to your icon status, what is your favorite part about it, right? So you get those stock options, a glass shiny trophy, the opportunity to go to EXP Con and shareholders, earn stock for that, a great reputation. So why do you keep it on your list of goals? And, production and money aside, why do you strive for that every year? What's your favorite side or part of the Icon Award?
I kind of like it all. I love being able to say that even though I'm with a brokerage that has a split, I'm actually 100% because I get my split back in the stocks. So I love that part. I love that we have icon events that we go to with other icons, and we share our success and how we got there, and give each other tips and what we do in my area, and what they do in Florida, and what they do in California. Everybody does things differently, and it's so nice to pick up a nugget here and there. And then I also love the giving back. I would love to see other agents succeed. And that's why I want to join a team, not join a team, but that's why I want to build a team, is because they're like my little children, and I want them to succeed, and I want to see them grow and become icons and be as successful as I am. And I love the fact that I get to give back and do that as well. So I think the Icon program is just so wonderful in all aspects. I mean, there's not one thing to love. There's just lots of things to love about it.
Yes, absolutely. And I love that you say that, Danielle. And moving, off of that topic, not off of it, I guess bouncing off of it a little bit, continuing to my next question, as a rookie coming over to EXP, or somebody that's new to the industry, is it possible for them to icon? What are some, major mistakes to avoid, or daily goals that you have to accomplish to achieve such a big goal in your first year with EXP, if again that's even possible?
Well, anything is possible if you set your mind to it. I had a team member in his first year, he did 10 transactions. And he could have done more if he really put his feet to the grindstone, but he kind of was a little bit chill about things. It really depends on what you do to be successful. If you can take a lot of classes, you can learn a lot, but the key is implementation. You've got to implement what you've learned. And if you implement it and you get your systems down and you do what you need to do every single day, you can do Icon in the first year. You definitely need to work on your business every single day, at least 3 hours a day. And that is lead generation, networking, growing your sphere in your CRM, whatnot. You need to do that every day. And then in the afternoons or at the rest of the day, that's when you work with your clients in your business. So work on your business in the morning and in your business in the afternoon.
I think that's incredible advice, especially when it comes to, like you said earlier, really building your sphere and being able to get that pipeline going, that reputation going. I just love the time slots are so important. That organization. I don't,
Yeah.
this is like my sixth podcast today. My tongue is not having it anymore. But that organization is so crucial, and that commitment to it every day, right? The accountability for yourself. It's a huge goal. And to hit that huge goal, you have to make sure you're hitting the little goals to get there.
Yeah, and it's very easy to get sucked away with emails and client calls and texts. But if you let your clients know, hey, I'm available for you, and I will get back to you, but I have meetings in the mornings every morning, so they know that you're not available, and you get back to them, on your time. You got to set boundaries with clients. They have to respect your boundaries. Same thing. I used to work from 5 in the morning until 11, 12 o'clock at night texting clients, and I finally got to the point where, hey, I got to set boundaries at this point. So I don't answer any emails. I do, if I get up early to work, I will answer emails on a schedule, and I'll have them sent at 8 o'clock in the morning, and after 8 o'clock at night, I'm not answering my phone. If anything my clients send me can wait until the next morning. There is nothing that needs to happen after 8 o'clock at night.
Yes, absolutely. Drawing those boundaries is important, especially because you want to completely avoid burnout mode. It's really tough to recover from burnout mode, especially as a real estate agent when you're trying to balance family, friends, and it's a people-centric industry. So avoiding burnout and making sure you take care of yourself first is incredibly important.
And I think nowadays with social media and videos, you have so much more ability to get the word out there that you are a real estate agent and show them what you're doing. You have the potential of growing a lot faster than those of us that started 18 years ago when none of that was around. I mean, the only way people knew you were a realtor was word of mouth. If you sent out mailers, things that cost a lot of money. You can get the word out fairly inexpensively just on social media and networking.
Yes, absolutely. And, there are people that you can leverage that stuff out to, because if you feel like you don't have time to do social media, hire a college intern. Everybody's trying to get marketing done. Hire a VA, whatever that is. Skyly, I interviewed her the other day. She's an icon agent, and she shared this awesome quote that I've been referring back to whenever this comes up. And she said, you may be best at that stuff, like things like social media, but are you the best if it doesn't get done? Right? Mm-hmm. So are you utilizing social media? You want to do all the posts, but do you have time in your day to make quality posts when you can leverage that out to somebody else? I think that's really important when it comes to tasks and delegation and upping your production, taking advantage of that free marketing and everything else. It's just, always an awesome point to go off of.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the quotes that I don't remember who said it, but it really resonates with me because I was a perfectionist and I had to do everything, and it was hard for me to let things go, was it's better to be done than perfect. So just get it done. It doesn't need to be perfect. We're all human. In fact, people love to see our imperfectness. So, when you stumble, and do a funny or start going hysterical in the middle of, whatever you're trying to do, that'll probably get more hits than a serious video. So, just get it done. It doesn't need to be perfect. Get out of your comfort zone and just have fun with it. And people, remember, real estate's a relationship business. People are going to work with you if they like you. And if you can come across with your personality and people are attracted to you and drawn to you, they're going to use you in real estate. You don't have to be a rocket science at real estate or a top producer for someone to use you if they like you and trust you. And they'll like you and trust you by getting to know you a bit better. And you can do that easily on social media.
And I like what you said, Danielle. Perfection can be intimidating to people sometimes. Buying a home is already an overwhelming and intimidating process, especially for first-time buyers. And so, being approachable, being human, like you said, being somebody that they can know, like, and trust, That's just the secret to it all. And Danielle, were you ever skeptical of EXP when you were first introduced to it?
Yes, because when I had set up my Zoom meeting with Scott and Rob, made a call to a couple of other agents that I knew that I respected at my current brokerage, and I said, "Hey, what have you heard about EXP?" And they told me, "Don't even waste your time." They're like, "It's a multi-level marketing scheme. It's not going to last. It's a tiny thing." And they really had negative things to say. They said, they met an EXP agent at a party, and all that person ever tried to do was recruit them, and it was a big turnoff. And he would never even
Because
consider it.
you want to
Yeah,
tell people about something so awesome, right?
right. Well, I guess it was the guy's approach, and he was a little bit off-putting, unfortunately, a little bit too pushy about the recruiting aspect, and so that left me a little bit skeptical, but I'm one of those people that knowledge is power, and you have to get down to the bottom of everything and then make the decision what's right for you. And I'm really glad, I didn't listen to other people, and I found out the truth from the people who, could explain it to me properly and let me know exactly how it all worked. And for me, it was the right fit. And you just have to find out everything there is to know about something before you make a decision, and don't listen to others. You have to find out for yourself.
And nobody wants to feel like they're being sold on something. Like you don't want to feel like you're walking past a kiosk in the mall, like here, let me do your hair. Here's this, right? And
Exactly.
so, how you approach other agents and attract them to EXP, it does matter. And Danielle, for somebody watching right now and they're on the fence about coming over to EXP, they see the greener grass, but maybe they've been approached by somebody that's tried to sell them a little too hard, or the brokerage tells them how EXP is a pyramid scheme, like you touched on earlier, or a cult, and don't drink the Kool-Aid. So to somebody that's looking to make that switch, cut the cord with their brokerage, and they feel that sense of loyalty, how would you, kind of light the fire underneath them to make that jump?
Well, whenever I talk to people about EXP, I just let them know what I like about the company. And I always tell them, do what I did. Talk to the people that can explain and answer all of your questions about everything, about healthcare, about all the different aspects that we have at EXP and what's going on in the company. And you can only be the one to make the decision if it's right for you or not, if it's the right fit. I mean, for me, I was stagnant in my growth. I needed more growth, and I got that opportunity. I didn't want to do a split, but I'm not essentially doing a split. I'm still 100% because I'm iconing. So there's a lot of different value there, but you just have to see if it's the right fit. It's not the right fit for everybody. Some people like traditional brokerages, but it has to be the right fit for you. And you can't know if it's the right fit if you don't have correct information.
That's right. And, reach out to the source, reach out to some icon agents, the ones that are trusted, the top 2% of the company, the people that know what's really going on, how to use a company to your advantage, and really get your business going out of here. If you guys have questions for Danielle, feel free to reach out. Everybody's so happy to field questions with EXP. It's not a dog eat dog world out here. It's more than merrier. So take up that opportunity. And Danielle, as we approach 25 minutes, I'm all out of questions for you. Do you have anything that you want to leave the listeners with today?
No, just the same thing that I've said before. You really just need to ask questions and have your questions answered, and make sure that it's right fit. There's a lot of brokerages that promise a lot of things. I know when I talk about EXP, I don't promise anything. I just let people know, what your options are and the different aspects. Me personally, I don't recruit people. I haven't yet. That's not been my forte. I'm all about production. So you don't have to do the recruiting piece if you don't want to. If just production is your jam, that's my jam, and that's what I do. And if I happen to have people that are attracted to work with me and they want to work with me and come to EXP and have me sponsor them in, awesome. I'll be happy to do that. Make your life better. I'd be happy to help you on your journey. But it's a very personal decision. You have to decide for yourself, but get the right information.
Absolutely. You owe it to yourself to do the research, ask the right questions, find the right sponsor. And Danielle, I think it's been an awesome episode. Thank you so much for joining. Talk to you at EXPCon in October.
Yes, I will be there. I already have my tickets.
Awesome. Well, I'll plan on seeing you there, Danielle. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you soon.
Okay. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.